It seems the heels advocate has to make this video because my brothers and sisters, what in the world is going on with Triple H, bruh? How many times is this guy gonna keep on hugging on the female talent, bruh? I mean, look at him, literally like signaling for IYO SKY to come at him, and he picks her up, bruh. Like, people are acting like IYO SKY jumped on his freaking yak. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen. This guy literally like just picked her up almost, bruh. This is crazy. And this is not the first time he's done it. When Ria Ripley got injured, bruh, have you seen that video? Triple H is like hugging all over her. Like, you know, like literally up her grill in her personal space. Or like after this, like, I think match at Evolution or like WrestleMania, you can see Triple H like literally like press up his entire body up against Rhea's, and like Rhea's clearly in like fight gear, right? It's just like nothing more than like pretty much like a bra and panties, bro. Like she's 95% naked, bro. And you're over here like putting your entire body up hers. Like, this is crazy, bro. And this is not the only time it's happening. Like, he's doing the same thing with Charlotte Flair, just like always hugging and touching and like pressing his freaking big nose forehead up against Vicair's face. Like, what is going on here, chat? Why does this always keep happening? Like, this happened backstage after Vicair won the title. It happened again at Crown Jewel when she became the Crown Jewel champion. This is something that just keeps on happening with Triple H and women, like, and the female talent. And I'm sorry, bruh, right? You can call me old school or something, but like, I cannot imagine, right? Just think for a second here, okay? Your wife is a WWE superstar. She goes to work and she is damn near naked. And you have Triple H pressing his entire body up against your oiled up wife. Like, you can call me crazy, but that is not okay, bro. No way this is in any other like company, work environment, professional like environment. No way that this is like okay, right? In so many companies, you have like stupid rules like the opposite genders cannot make eye contact for more than 3 seconds, or they cannot touch. Like, you literally have policies like that in some companies, bro. Like, this is actually like facts, right? And then you have Triple H in the WWE. And I wish Triple H was this kind to the male talent too. I swear, like, for example, Drew McIntyre, he wins the title. He doesn't even get a freaking picture backstage. You know, like the picture that he always takes with everybody where he's like pointing the finger. We didn't even get that with Drew McIntyre, and he's your new champion. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to think here for a second, what the hell is going on? I don't know if this is some kind of fetish that he has with Ria Ripley, where like Ria Ripley kind of reminds him of China. If you guys remember, China used to always have like the leather tops and the panties kind of. She looked kind of, in a way, cosplaying Mad Max, right? She kind of always had that kind of vibe. And for some reason, they turned Ria Ripley from a Australian blondie into this like dark goth girl powerhouse like Dami mommy type of, right? And it's pretty funny that nowadays she doesn't even call herself mommy, it's just Ria Ripley according to IYO SKY. But nonetheless, we have clearly seen the inspirations drawn from China to Ria Ripley. And obviously Triple H has been at the core of NXT. Ria came up from NXT under Triple H, so definitely Ripley got molded into whatever Triple H liked, and clearly Triple H liked something about China because they were together, and he wanted to emulate what worked for her into Ria Ripley. And maybe that is why he's always so touchy, right? Like, if we're gonna like look at it from a non like what do you call that word, like platonic, if we're gonna look at it from a platonic point of view, then we can say at best Ria Ripley reminds Triple H of his ex-girlfriend. And I don't know how you would feel about that, but that is not a platonic way of looking at her, bro. And maybe if he's gonna say, oh yeah, but like, you know, she's kind of like my daughter, bro, but she's not your daughter though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you keep your hands off her, bro. And like, I'm not trying to say that in like some white knight type of way. Like, oh my god, don't touch her. She doesn't want to be touched, bro. Oh my god, is he bothering you? I don't really care like that, right? But I'm just saying, it is just not what you want to see in a professional environment. And this is happening constantly, bro. Like, maybe if LA Knight was a woman, you know what I'm saying, if he was a 5'2" woman, and maybe he had like, you know, like Asian eyes, and he spoke with an Asian accent, maybe LA Knight would have gotten the same treatment as IYO SKY, because how in the world is IYO SKY getting booked better than LA Knight, right? It is just laughable at this point. And there's no way that we can look at all of this and just say, oh yeah, it is harmless. You literally have comments saying, oh yeah, bro, why are you making it weird? Why does everything have to be weird? You know, and I'm thinking to myself, why not, bruh? Right? If your first reaction, if your first like gut reaction is that, then it is that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that we always have to like reprogram our first reaction. When you see something and your first gut reaction is disgust, maybe it's freaking disgusting. Have you ever thought about that? Right? Like, if I'm seeing The Rock kiss Mae Young in that episode of like Raw 2000 or something, if your first reaction is not, Rock, why the hell would you kiss Mae Young? She's like about 100 years old, bro. Like, there's probably like some freaking like ashes from the other world on her lips, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? She probably got some freaking afterlife dust on her lips, bro. Like, why the hell are you kissing Mae Young, Rock? What the hell are you doing, bro? But then you're like, all right, you know, she's an old woman. The Rock is like 6'4", you know, awesome guy. You know, perfect teeth and all that stuff, big body. You can see it's kind of like a charity case type of kiss, right? So you kind of let it slide. But this, I mean, look at how many pictures you can find where Triple H is holding her face. I mean, like Rhea Ripley's face and like pressing his body up. Like, this is not okay, bro. Like, if you were to look at the entirety of this picture, you can see that it is only really Triple H doing all of this. I don't recall Vince McMahon really pressing up his entire body and like going out of his way and congratulating, you know, like the talent backstage that up close and personal. Now, obviously, Vince McMahon has done way worse things on TV in camera, but then again, that that is like in kayfabe, right? Like, you don't really see like Vince McMahon congratulating freaking Naomi by pressing his body up against her when she won the title and when she was like doing the whole like glow in the dark gimmick. You don't really see that, do you? Right? Or like the same thing with like Charlotte Flair. You don't see that, right? Now, obviously, Vince McMahon has done like things with Trish Stratus or like Sable, right? But like the thing is this, I like to differentiate that because he didn't really do it in the confines of it being quote unquote private. Things that happen backstage at Gorilla, that is quote unquote private, right? Like, that's like behind the curtain. Everything that happens in the arena for me is fair game in a sense because it is just part of the show, part of the TV show. So if Triple H ever did that, like how should I put it? If Triple H did half the things that Vince McMahon did on camera, I wouldn't find it as weird as what he's doing right now backstage with IYO SKY, you know, Ria Ripley and like Vicar. It is just a little bit too weird for my life. All right, there is just a big goonification. I don't know how else to explain this in the WWE product, and it all starts from the bottom. And the bottom is NXT. You look at NXT today, and God forbid, bro, God forbid the female talent is not wearing a freaking like, you know what I'm saying, like trunks that like wedge up against the, like, you know, in between the cakes, bro. Like, God forbid, bro. God forbid they wear trunks that cover the bums, bro. Or they wear pants. Like, you're not gonna find that no more, right? The last of the Mohicans, bro, aka Becky Lynch, she was one of the last few competitors that actually wore like a full bodysuit and her trunks like didn't like wedge up between the cheeks. But nowadays, you look at her and she's completely gooned up as well, right? She folded to the goon, right? Maybe even Nikki Bella fell into this as well. Obviously, Nikki Bella has been notorious for wearing those like tops where it's kind of like with a shoelace. I think for a long time that was a merchandise thing that she had going on for herself. But nowadays, she went from the female revolution Bellas and like the Divas era of the WWE where they were still kind of like a little bit modest. Then she came back to the WWE wearing that stuff, but she looked around and everybody's wearing freaking bras, bruh. Everybody's wearing bras with like wedged up freaking trunks, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Caked up trunks. And then she looked around. I guess I'm gonna goon it up too, bro. All right. And then she goes ahead and wears freaking like a bra strap. I'm like, come on, Nikki Bella, you too, bro. You're freaking 42 years old, woman. You know what I'm saying? Have some little bit of decency. First of all, we get it. You know what I'm saying? The appeal of female wrestling isn't in the physicality. It's a little bit more of the eye candy persuasion. I'm fully aware of that. Now, they want to deny it as much as they want, but it's also the same wrestlers that want to deny it that come out wearing a freaking bra and freaking wedgie trunks, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want to hear none of that, right? So, for multitude of reasons, you know what I'm saying, I'm low-key happy that when the female talent go to Saudi Arabia, they're wearing full bodysuits because that minimizes the goonery. And And if that has always been something that was never the focus, right? For example, am I the bad guy for pointing it out? Okay, I am. All right, let's wear full bodysuits. Then everybody's happy. Then nobody can blame me, right? For saying that, oh yeah, all they do is just kind of like goon it up a little bit and that's it. I'm not the bad guy, am I? Okay, so when they're covered up, why is it that I'm happy, right? Because I'm preaching against it. I get it. I'm happy with it. But then the people that say, oh, it's never about the, objectification or the goonery, but as soon as they're covered up, they're mad. I don't get that though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but the free choice of the people. Freak the people, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Come on. They can't like wear a full bodysuit for one freaking match once a year and then they come out every single week gooned up. Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where I think we got to draw the line a little bit. And that's where I think the problem stems from, because this comes from straight up NXT. You look at Shawn Michaels and he's literally recording like TikToks or Instagram reels where he's like, guessing the voices of the women in the NXT roster. And it's like, oh yeah, that is Lola Vice. Oh yeah, that is Parker, Jada Parker. That is Jordan Grace. That is this. And like every one of them is like coming out and looking like they're about to like pop up on some freaking magazines, bro. It's kind of like, am I looking at wrestling or am I looking at the only fancification of the wrestling business? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to really look at wrestling and want to spend half of the airtime looking at mediocre men's matches and even more mediocre or even trash to some extent female segments, right? So like for me, I am all in favor of WWE Evolution. I'm all in favor of it. You know what I'm saying? Have them all be on a separate PLE. Have them have their own show. Have them have their own PLE. I think that would be a great indicator of what genuinely works. Now, when I'm like buying tickets and I want to go to Monday Night Raw, I want to see AJ. I want to see CM Punk. Hell, I even want to see The Vision. I want to see Austin Theory. I want to see everybody that is kind of important come out and wrestle. Jey Uso and his brother, right? But I really don't care that much if freaking Lyra Valkyria comes out. Now, I have a few wrestlers that I kind of like, right? I like Valkyria in the ring. I like Becky Lynch, her mic work. I think she's a pretty good character. But that is where it kind of about ends. And the pattern is Valkyria, world champion. Becky Lynch, intercontinental champion. So clearly I should say I at least have a preference for the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see necessarily the female tag champions. I don't want to see the female mid-card. I don't want to see the female bottom card. I might care about who the champion is going to feud against, but that's about it. So I want either, at best, only a few segments with the best or an entire show dedicated to the females. Because obviously this is the female revolution in the WWE and they have really proven that they can put up good matches in the ring for sure. I'm not going to deny it. But is it up to the level of a superior 5-star men's match? We can debate on that, right? But nonetheless, there is a place for them. And I don't want to really take away anything that they can build up for themselves. And if they want to go ahead and build up WWE Evolution and make that a big time great show, then hey, I'm all for it. And I believe that was one of the best shows of the year. So clearly, if they want to dedicate the entire show to one another, they can do a great job at it. But for me, it's a little bit like disorienting going from seeing freaking Brock Lesnar suplexing and F5ing everybody in the War Games match. And then the following match is like IYO SKY wearing a freaking bin over her head and jumping off the top of the cage when all 8 competitors in the ring are like waiting to catch her. That is a little bit kayfabe breaking in my opinion. So, obviously I have my preferences, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that Triple H can sometimes come out and say something like, oh yeah, I tell something to the men and they want to kind of like go back and forth with me on the creative direction. But with the women, it's like I tell them one thing and they immediately pull it off and they do it better than I expected. It's like they pick it up so much better than the men. Or is it so much so that like they are happy enough to do what they want to do, but the men aren't? All right, maybe the men want to stand up for themselves a little bit more, like LA Knight. You think LA Knight is happy jobbing out 3 consecutive Money in the Bank opportunities? No. So it's like seeing him get berated by Triple H backstage over something that is clearly like not affecting the end result, which was Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. And, clearly that wasn't that big of a deal. yet he gets a big time scolding for it. But on the same card, we had a big fat stinker between like Becky Lynch and what's her name, Nikki Bella or something. They had a horrendous match. But we don't see that in WWE Unreal though. Like, we don't see Triple H pulling Nikki Bella aside or like Becky Lynch aside and scolding them for like, wasting and flopping and botching an entire match. Yeah, like, that is something that I really find peculiar, because you would think that that would be the way that he would like want to go about it. If he's that kind to them, if he's that generous to them, and if he wants to go out and hug them and kiss them and like say how much they're like amazing, you would also want to believe that at the same time, when they do mess up, he's going to be there to tell them that they messed up. But I don't know. I don't really seem to see that, right? And it's like the same thing all over again with WWE Unreal. You look at the entire show of WWE or like Unreal, it's like whenever Triple H sees like a guy that might have an idea for their like character or like character direction, he's like, we'll try and figure something out. R-Truth, he walks up to Triple H, he's like, hey, I think I want to cut my hair. He's like, okay, we'll see, we'll figure that out, right? Or like, then you have Naomi walk up to Triple H after she won the Money in the Bank. She's like, hey, Triple H, can I put some caution tape on it? Hey, yeah, no problem. Hey, better yet, guess what? We're gonna have something custom made for you. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, where is the enthusiasm for R-Truth, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? And I'm fully aware IYO SKY is very popular amongst the fans, but Ria Ripley, she is the clear-cut superstar of the female division, and she's getting wasted. You know what I'm saying? I feel that in this current landscape of the WWE, there is almost a limitation to how much they want to push you. And it also depends on how the world accepts you when you are pushed. For example, Cody Rhodes, he's getting pushed to the moon, right? But the mainstream world really doesn't seem to be looking at Cody Rhodes the same way that they did John Cena, right? And I'm kind of aware that if Ria Ripley got pushed into pop culture, she could do a great job. Like, can you imagine like Ria Ripley collabing with Drake, right? Drake came out and he said like, oh yeah, you know who this is? I think he had like a screensaver of Ria Ripley. She's like, and he's like, oh yeah, this is Ria Ripley. She's my muse or something like that. Like, imagine if the WWE like collab with Drake and Ria Ripley hits that main stage, hits that mainstream, or she goes on the stream with like Kai Cenat or something, or hell, I'm like, I'm not for it, right? But hey, and I'm saying a Sports Illustrated freaking like bikini shoe or something, like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not for it. Like, I'm not saying that I would like want to see that, right? But I'm saying like, as soon as that happens, she becomes a pop culture sensation and Hollywood will start knocking. Understand? That is what they have with Ria Ripley. I think we're all aware like how many hits that Stinkface did, that she did at some random house show. I think that was like easily like 150, 200 million views on like TikTok and Instagram Reels. So clearly, bro, there is something big with Ria Ripley. There is a big mainstream appeal that can be tapped into, but they're not going to do that. And that is what I'm fearing. Clearly, Triple H prefers the women. He clearly prefers the female division. Yet, with the biggest star that he has, Ria Ripley, he doesn't want to push her to a level beyond the WWE. He said it multiple times. He said, the last star that we have that transcended the company was John Cena, and we're never going to have that again. Roman Reigns is not on the same level, bro. Like, Roman Reigns is literally 41 years old, and by 41, The Rock has been like in the WWE longer than he had been in The Rock was longer in Hollywood than he was in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? By 41. So that's the difference. If Roman wanted to become like a mainstream guy, he would have done it already. I, to be honest, don't think that Roman has half the work ethic that The Rock does. And besides, I don't really think that Roman Reigns is too eager to come back and overwork himself in the WWE when he's literally just like paid to show every freaking quarter of the year. And that's about it. And he's still going to get his like 7 million, 8 million, 12 million freaking paycheck. And I believe he's still flying private. So that is what we have in this day and age in the WWE, bro. Like, this weird thing going on backstage with Triple H and all the females aside, everything right now is screaming, I am the main source of attention. Like, Triple H, I don't know why he wants everybody to grab to him, run to him, acknowledge him. I get it, he's like the creative director, but like, I don't see him kind of being like this with John Cena, for example. It's really weird to me. It's really weird. Like, the very successful, the very self-confident, the very independent people in the WWE, They don't seem to be having that type of relationship. But all the people that don't seem to be that all want to like go ahead and glaze Triple H. I'm sick and tired of it. It is not appropriate. It is weird. It is disgusting. Triple H, keep your freaking hands to yourself, you dirty creep, man. I'm the heels advocate and I'm out.